Imagine this. You're kind of navigating the messy aftermath of a breakup,
Right.
and you're simultaneously hunting for a new place to live and also wrestling with
Yeah.
this whole tangle of feelings you haven't really acknowledged.
No.
All the while, your closest friends are right there with you, dealing with their own romantic dramas, professional stuff. It's a lot.
It really is.
And that's the incredibly vivid, universally relatable scene we're plunging into today. We're taking a deep dive into an intimate snapshot from 1 week ago, focusing on a character named Mara.
Right.
Our mission? Well, it's to pull out the rich insights, hiding within this personal narrative, insights into the raw complexities of human relationships, the surprisingly powerful role of friendship, as a coping mechanism,
Yeah, that's huge here.
and that delicate, often painful dance of moving on, especially when emotions and living situations and those ever-present unspoken feelings are just deeply, deeply intertwined.
And our source material for this deep dive is it's a truly compelling account.
Hmm.
It's full of raw emotion, these revealing internal monologues, and candid conversations that offer this unique, almost like voyeuristic window into navigating life's messiest transitions.
Yeah.
It feels less like reading a story and more like being a silent observer, inside Mara's own head and within her closest circle.
Absolutely. And if you've ever found genuine solace in your friends during tough times or wrestled with feelings you couldn't quite admit even to yourself, or maybe faced the daunting, bittersweet task of starting fresh, you are going to find a profound connection with Mara's journey here. This isn't just her story. It feels like a reflection of so many of our own experiences.
Totally.
So let's unpack this. We first meet Mara in a predicament that really hits close to home for a lot of us, I think. She's heartbroken, she's apartment hunting,
Yeah.
and she's finding this momentary escape from it all by browsing Craigslist with her friends over what's affectionately described as overpriced red wine.
Perfect detail.
Right. And the source tells us her heart feels like a stone, just heavy with unrequited feelings. This isn't just a casual evening. It's clearly like a vital lifeline for her.
Oh, it's more than just a lifeline. It's an immediate demonstration of a really robust social support system in action. I mean, think about it. Mara is in pain, but she's not alone.
Right.
Her friends are actively engaged in her struggle, even if it's just scrolling through apartment listings. And this shared moment is punctuated by their own equally vivid frustrations.
Yeah, it's not all about her.
Not at all. Her friend Sadie, for instance, she recounts this disastrous date with an engineer who, despite what Sadie calls the best sex of her life, turned out to be a total dick.
Oh.
Yeah. And Sadie's plan, which is described as pretty on brand, involves lacing his coffee with toad venom.
Okay, wow. The toad venom detail is just, it's perfect. It immediately tells you everything you need to know about their dynamic, doesn't it?
Exactly. And it's not just Sadie venting. We hear from Hannah, who's physically far away in Houston, but, feels closer than ever through the screen.
Despite having a good internet connection, she's apparently ready for murder.
Oh, dear.
She's butting heads with some NASA big shot guy who has vetoed her pet research project for no reason whatsoever.
It's infuriating.
And Mara, our narrator, is almost positive she's sharpening a shiv. So these aren't minor annoyances. These are deeply personal battles, and their friends are right there in the trenches with them.
That's what's so great.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, beyond the humor, is the profound psychological role of this strong social support system. Mara actually reminisces about their grad school days,
Okay.
where they'd engage in what she calls healthy communal bitching just to survive the madness.
Right? Communal bitching. I love that term.
Me too. And it isn't merely venting, as, many might assume. It's actually a critical mechanism for processing pain, for validating emotions, and profoundly fostering resilience.
So it's more constructive than it sounds. Way more. What's often missed is how this communal bitching isn't just about blowing off individual steam. It's a powerful form of collective emotional labor, almost like a ritual.
Collective emotional labor. I like that.
Yeah. By externalizing and even maybe exaggerating their individual pain, they kind of transmute it into this shared, actionable narrative. It actively counters the isolation you feel with heartbreak or professional frustration. It ensures no one feels solely burdened, effectively transforming individual crises into like a collective resilience project. It creates an almost palpable sense of shared identity and belonging, reminding them that in the end, we were together.
That makes so much sense. It really highlights how these moments of shared frustration aren't just cathartic, they're They're constructive in their own way.
Exactly.
And in a moment of just wonderful solidarity, they collectively declare, men were a mistake.
Yes.
With Hannah, true to form, adding, huge. But then Sadie, with this flash of unexpected humor, offers a brilliant counterpoint.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
She reminds them that men can, in fact, be useful, citing the very specific example of that guy with a corn t-shirt who helped me open a jar of pickled radishes in 2018.
It's so specific and perfect.
Isn't it? That blend of commiseration and such unexpected, almost mundane levity. It really makes their bond feel incredibly real and deeply human.
It's that precise blend of the dramatic and the everyday that grounds their friendship, I think.
Yeah.
And that moment quickly pivots them into this game of wishing for delightful and yet unobtainable things.
Right, the wishing game.
Their desires range from the truly practical, like a lifetime supply of Nutella.
I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Right, to the utterly fantastical and nostalgic, like Firefly finally getting the final season it deserves.
Oh, a classic nerd wish. Very relatable.
Totally. And this collective escapism is another subtle yet powerful form of coping. By momentarily shifting focus from their immediate, very real problems to these shared improbable dreams, they reinforce their connection. They create this temporary psychological haven from their individual anxieties. It's a testament to the power of shared imagination as a form of, well, self-soothing.
And Mara, of course, plays along, even in this shared fantasy. She wishes that Liam, her housemate and ex,
Here it comes.
would come home and ask me not to move out, and then he'll bend me over the nearest piece of furniture and fuck me hard and fast.
Wow, okay.
That raw, incredibly vivid fantasy, even kind of joked about in a group chat. It instantly pulls back the curtain on Mara's deeply conflicted internal world, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It makes you realize how much she's wrestling with beneath the surface. Let's unpack this fascinating contradiction. So we've just seen Mara's explicit, if maybe jokingly delivered, fantasy about Liam.
Yep.
Pretty explicit.
But then as the conversation continues, she immediately tries to downplay her actual feelings for him. She claims it's not really a crush, or barely there, even suggesting it's still in the larval stage.
Chuckles larval stage, okay. But then in this raw, unflinching internal monologue, she just calls herself a liar.
Revealing the truth. The crush is hitting its teenage years and as strong as an ox. She's still having these vivid, almost visceral fantasies about him bending her over furniture.
Right.
It's quite the internal battle, isn't it? Where her outward denial is completely at odds with her innermost desires.
Oh, completely. And this brings us to a really fundamental human question.
Yeah.
Why do we put ourselves through that kind of mental gymnastics?
Yeah. Why do we do that?
Mara's internal monologue perfectly illustrates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
It's that mental discomfort we feel when our beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors conflict. So here, it's her stated need for distance and maintaining a platonic friendship,
Right.
clashing intensely with her deep-seated, passionate desires for Liam.
Makes sense.
So to resolve this uncomfortable tension, the brain often tries to rationalize, deny, or downplay one side, which is precisely why Mara calls her crush larval,
Right.
even while fantasizing so vividly.
So it's self-protection, basically. Exactly. This self-deception isn't just a quirky character trait, it's a deeply human defense mechanism. Our brains are kind of wired to minimize discomfort, and admitting a complicated, potentially unrequited desire often feels more threatening than maintaining a convenient illusion.
Even when that illusion is causing its own stress.
Even then. Especially then, sometimes.
That explanation of cognitive dissonance really clarifies Mara's struggle. And her reasons for wanting to keep these feelings secret are equally layered, aren't they?
They are.
She expresses deep concern that Liam never find out about the furniture fantasies, specifically to avoid making things weird for him.
The weird factor.
She genuinely sees him as a good friend who's also undergoing life changes himself, and she wants to be supportive, not a source of discomfort or added complication. It's almost selfless in a way,
It is, in a way.
yet entirely at odds with the very vivid desires we just heard about.
Exactly. This protective impulse, both for Liam and for the, fragile remnants of their friendship, is a powerful driver behind her denial. It's not just about her feelings, but about the relationship she's trying to preserve, or what's left of it. But then Hannah, with perfect comedic timing and honestly incredible insight,
Yeah, last
proposes telling a story about a friend named Sarah,
air quotes implied.
big air quotes,
Yeah.
who moved in with a guy, Will, initially hated him, Then, of course, developed filthy, very elaborate-sounding fantasies about Will bending her over the kitchen
Oh,
table.
my God. Mara, despite herself, quickly hangs up the call laughing. She absolutely recognizes the thinly veiled parallel to her own situation.
How could she not?
It's a fantastic moment of friendly teasing and knowing glances, even across a video call. Her friends, as you said, they know her better than she thinks, don't they?
Oh, for sure.
And this isn't the first time friends have held up a mirror to our own blind spots, I imagine.
You're absolutely right. And this isn't just about Mara, you know? Hannah's story, though playful, is a prime example of what we call social referencing, or maybe indirect communication in psychology.
Okay, tell me more.
It's a subtle, non-confrontational way for friends to validate a shared emotional experience and gently nudge someone towards self-acknowledgement. They don't need to explicitly say, Mara, you clearly still have feelings for Liam.
Right, that might just make her shut down.
Exactly. The story does all the work, allowing Mara to recognize her own truth without feeling directly confronted or judged. It's a sophisticated act of friendship, really. Demonstrates a deep understanding of Mara's internal world.
Yeah.
And it works because it preserves face and allows for that moment of shared humor, which is crucial for maintaining connection even when you're discussing sensitive topics.
Okay, so here's where the tension really ratchets up, and the timing becomes almost cinematic. Just as Mara hangs up, still laughing at her friend's incredibly accurate teasing, Liam, her housemate, the subject of her secret desires, appears in the living room doorway, necktie in hand.
Oh boy.
You can almost feel Mara's immediate internal thought. Oh, shit. It's that moment where fantasy and reality just collide, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and the shift is palpable. Mara's immediate visceral fear is whether Liam possibly overheard her conversation.
Of course.
He claims he just arrived, but his expression is described as unreadable, and he studies her and says nothing during their brief exchange about his job interview and her stir-fry.
That unreadable look. That's killer.
It is. That unreadable quality isn't just a lack of information, it's a profound source of anxiety for Mara, because in the absence of clear signals, her mind just races to fill the void, often with worst-case scenarios.
Totally.
This ambiguity can be way more stressful than even a clear negative response sometimes.
And it's those silent, ambiguous moments that just scream the loudest in these kinds of transitions, right? Mara then reflects on her intimate knowledge of Liam's preferences. She even offers him stir-fry, quickly assuring him, no carrots, I promise.
Chuckles, the carrot detail.
It's a small, almost unconscious detail that speaks volumes. And she's hit with this poignant question. What will I do with all this knowledge I have of his likes and dislikes, this knowledge of him? Where will it go once he's not in my life anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Such a powerful reflection on the unseen residue of shared lives, you know? The emotional data we accumulate when we're close to someone, and the profound sense of loss when that data just loses its context.
That internal rumination perfectly encapsulates a feeling that's often overlooked in breakups. The loss of shared intimacy, not just physical, but intellectual and emotional intimacy.
Yeah.
It's the dismantling of a whole microculture built just for two. And then the plot thickens with another significant twist.
Okay.
Mara tells Liam she's found a new place, but then reasserts she won't sell her half of their shared house.
All right, sticking to her guns.
Still operating under the assumption that he wants to buy her out, which has been his long-standing offer.
Which he's wanted for ages.
Exactly. Liam, however, surprisingly states, I don't want to buy her out, directly contradicting everything that's been established.
Whoa. Wait, what?
Yeah. This raises a critical question. What's truly behind this sudden, dramatic change of heart?
That's such a sharp pivot in their dynamic.
Yeah.
Mara, ever the jokester and maybe sensing financial woes, playfully asks if he's broke. Maybe gambled on the U.S. male soccer team winning the World Cup, or even got involved in a LuLaRoe pyramid scheme.
Her humor as a defense mechanism again.
Totally. It's her way of diffusing the sudden shift. But Liam's expression remains stubbornly unreadable. He doesn't offer a hint of an explanation, leaving her and us entirely in the dark.
And that ambiguity is just narrative and psychological goldmine. Liam's unreadable expression, combined with his sudden reversal on the house buyout, it could signal several things.
Like what?
Well, did he in fact overhear Mara's conversation? Is this some kind of subtle emotional retaliation or just confusion on his part?
Possible.
Is he genuinely facing unforeseen financial trouble, as Mara kind of suspects, which would complicate everything?
Also possible.
Or, perhaps most compellingly, is there a deeper emotional shift happening on his part? By taking away Mara's clear path to independence, the buyout he has, whether intentionally or not, prolonged and complicated their entanglement.
Right. He's keeping her tied to the situation.
Exactly. This creates an emotional vacuum, leaving Mara and us to wonder if it's about control, genuine practical issues, or maybe even his own burgeoning unspoken feelings for her.
Oh, wow.
This entire sequence is just a masterclass in unspoken communication and the shifting power dynamics of a relationship in flux. It highlights how much of our lives are governed by things left unsaid, and how we interpret deliberately ambiguous cues when the stakes are so high for our emotional well-being.
And then, just as quickly as the tension and confusion build, we get this brief, almost accidental moment of soft intimacy. Liam, seeing Mara drunk, admits she gets annoying when you're drunk.
Chuckles. Brutal honesty.
But then, almost under his breath, adds, but cute.
Ah, there it is.
It's a small, potent admission of affection, right? A crack in his unreadable facade. But this moment of tenderness is quickly followed by him just saying goodnight, Mara, and heading straight to his room. No pause, no response to her final playful jab about the cinnamon creamer. That push-pull is so real, isn't it? That whiplash.
It's incredibly real. That quick transition from vulnerability to distance perfectly encapsulates the unresolved, almost liminal state of their relationship.
Yeah.
It leaves Mara, and indeed us, grasping for clarity about his true feelings. Was the cue to slip, or was it a deliberate softening? Was the immediate retreat a defense mechanism or a genuine desire for space? The lack of follow-through on that intimate moment just amplifies the uncertainty. It reflects how often we're left to piece together fragmented clues in our own relationships.
Absolutely. And the chapter then concludes on an incredibly ominous classic cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I don't see him until the following night. And that's when it happens.
Chills.
Right. That one line leaves us on the absolute edge of our seats. What in the world transpired that following night? The source material just masterfully builds this anticipation, setting the stage for something big.
Yeah.
So, okay. We've navigated Mars 1 week ago, exploring the vital, complex role of friendship in tough times, the intricate internal struggle of unacknowledged feelings, and the fraught, delicate dance of separating lives, even when they're still so deeply, emotionally, and, physically intertwined.
This deep dive really brings home how messy and incredibly complex transitions can be. It reminds us how our friends can be our fiercest allies and at times our most accurate mirrors, kind of pushing us gently towards self-awareness.
Yeah, that Hannah story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it underscores how often the biggest dramas, the most significant shifts in our lives unfold not in grand pronouncements, but in the quiet, unspoken moments between people who know each other deeply. The internal world, Mara's internal world, is often far more tumultuous and revealing than any external events, really.
That's a powerful takeaway. And considering that potent cliffhanger, that's when it happens. What unspoken truths do you think were finally laid bare between Mara and Liam?
Ooh, good question.
How much of our own narratives are truly shaped by the critical moments we anticipate? And how often do the resolutions of those moments completely surprise us, revealing layers and possibilities we never even expected? Definitely something to chew on.